Hello and welcome back to the channel. The 1st of November 2024 marked 40 years of my journey in traditional Chinese martial arts and 39 years in traditional Chinese medicine. Prior to then, I had previously trained in a few different martial arts, but it wasn't until I found Tai Chi Chuan that I found a home. It was a Thursday evening that I attended my first class in an old-style gym with a sprung wooden floor in what was then Middlesex Polytechnic at their Enfield site, which now sadly no longer exists. My first lesson in Tai Chi Chuan taught me that my new Sifu was very relaxed yet very on point with his teaching. The structure of the class had beginners at one end, with a progression up the hall to the more experienced students. This was an inspiration because I wanted to be up there with the more advanced students doing what they were doing rather than learning the form and other basic practices. I had joined the class 3 weeks after the beginning of the semester, so I had a little catching up to do to draw level with the latest intake. In that first year, amongst those also beginning was a friend, his partner, her father and Mark Donovan, who was also a student of Laogar. As beginners, we all trained enthusiastically. Whilst doing a type of sparring training with my teacher literally knocking me around the training hall, I remember calling a stop, saying, Whoa, stop. I thought Tai Chi was meant to be soft and slow. It is, he said, but not as a martial art. Who fights slowly? The onslaught then instantly continued. That was my introduction to the real art that I was just beginning to learn. At the time, I was an athlete. I'd been a pole vaulter for school and then club, which was Shaftesbury Harriers. Consequently, I was fit and strong. I'd done other martial arts too, so I could already break fall well and knew various techniques. One evening, my teacher asked me if I could kick, and then demonstrated the lotus kick from the end of the form on a bag, saying, "Can you do this kick?" He hit the bag really hard. It literally boomed, and the bag vibrated. I confidently replied, "Yeah," and proceeded to kick the bag with the same type of kick, an outward crescent kick. My foot hit the bag with a thwop sound and not the boom sound that I'd just seen and heard, at the end of which I said, no. It was another reason to focus on my training. It wasn't about the kick, it was about how it was done. It was in that first year that I learned about the consequences which could follow from asking stupid questions. Having recently watched the Jackie Chan film Drunken Master, I was curious about grips to the throat, and I wondered how one would defend against such an attack. So of course I had to ask, "Sifu, what can you do if someone grips your throat or your trachea like in an eagle claw grip?" "Well, do it and I'll show you," he replied. Yeah, I should have known this was a daft question, but at this point my curiosity had got the better of me. So I gripped my teacher's throat moderately. "No," he said, "if you're going to do it, you need to do it properly." "What? Really grip hard?" I asked. "Yeah, of course," he said. So I did. A small punch to my body hit me so hard that I was winded and sank straight to the floor. "Like that," Sifu said as he walked off. I remained there for a few minutes, unable to breathe or move, just waiting for the moment when I could take a breath and get up. I'd love to say I never asked another stupid question, but unfortunately I can't. However, I can say that I've learned some very valuable lessons when asking them. In the latter end of the first year, I met Douglas Robertson, who would later become my training partner and my Tai Chi brother. I am deeply grateful to Doug. I could not have asked for a better, more difficult, more taxing brother-in-arms. Without him, it would have been very difficult to learn these arts. He was my worthy opponent. Over the years, we've developed a very strong bond and friendship. Every student of martial arts needs a worthy opponent as a training partner, because you need someone who will help you push the boundaries, and I wish you all a training partner as good and as commendable as Doug. Sifu Ran's teaching style was refreshing. The lack of macho ego, too often found in martial arts, both teachers and students, meant that a more honest exchange of knowledge and learning could take place. After a few short years and some intense training, my Sifu moved away from the London area, so to continue training with him meant Doug and I travelling for 5 hours to see him, staying at his place for the weekend, training and learning as much as possible, before travelling home and practicing everything we'd learned over the next few months until our return for more training. To be fair, Sifu also came back to London quite regularly over those first few years after moving away, and we would always cram as much into any time we could get with him, then train like mad till we saw him again. We fully embraced this challenge, and it proved to be a very positive change despite the distances travelled. The focused weekends became a great way to train and learn with time for lots of discussions, questions and answers, and intense physical training.
This is the village of Burford, and another traffic jam. Rather quaint houses. This is the countryside in Stowe.
Don't try to understand them, just roll, throw and ramble. Sooner than high and wide. My heart's calculating, my true love will be waiting. He will not be
What? We haven't done 100 miles yet. Okay, start when you're ready. That's high enough.
Grandmaster Lam Kam Chuan is a highly skilled martial artist with a broad knowledge and a high degree of skill in a number of martial arts. He is also highly skilled in Chinese medicine. He comes from a top quality lineage, having been a student of Yim Shim Mo and Lung Se Chung, both of whom trained with Ku Yu Chang, also known as Guru Zhang. Lung Se Chung also studied under Tam Sam, also known as Tam Sam, the originator of boxing Choli Fut. Additionally, Grandmaster Lam studied with the Venerable Yun Han and later became a disciple of Grandmaster Professor Yu Yong Nian of Jianzhong and Chuan, who himself was a student of the founder of those arts, Wang Xiangjai. Something that has always been present from the beginning was the understanding that respect for Grandmaster Lam and his teachers, their teachers, our lineage, was paramount. In 1675, Isaac Newton in a letter said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." We are the products of our forebears, and it is important that each generation are at least as knowledgeable and as skilled as the previous generation. For us to further the real art of Tai Chi Chuan and other traditional Chinese martial arts, we must embrace them fully and teach openly and honestly, or we will lose these arts and the rich culture they offer us, both physically and spiritually. Sifu Rand began learning with Grandmaster Lam Kam Chuan, Lam Sifu as he was then to my teacher, in January 1976. The love and respect that has shone through when my teacher relayed stories of his own training with Grandmaster Lam has served as an inspiration for my own training.
My name is Lam Kam Chuan. Many years ago in Hong Kong, I discovered a form of exercise, but with no movement. I did not know what to think. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe the people make a fun of me. But then I try it, and it make a real difference.
站着不动，开始不相信这是一个运动。那么后来逐渐慢慢才认识到了。第一步呢是不相信，有3点不相信。第一点呢就是说站着这不动是不是运动？啊，站着不动是什么运动？是一个什么运动？啊，这一点真闹不清楚。第二个呢就是说你站着不动，这个能够治好病。有好些个病人呢，就是在我们医院里头，打针、吃药啊，中医、西医各种疗法都做过了，没有效果。他到公园里去了，就这么站一站，效果非常好。所以这个。
Grandmaster Lam still teaches and treats people at his clinic in Willesden High Road in London, and has been teaching in Britain since 1975. Grandmaster Lam embraced teaching and endeavoured to pass on the knowledge and skill he has to his new students. A testament to this is that Sifu Rand has passed on his skills to his own students. and we pass on our knowledge and training to our students too. I wish you all a journey of discovery like mine, that will lead you through the various challenges required to teach you all that you need and want to learn, so that you too could make a video like this in the future. As always, good luck with your training.